I have a need to make a statement. Surely under the circumstances, no one would deny me that. First, let me say that I have known, I have seen, I have touched things that defy all prior experience of mankind. You think they're not here? Not watching us as we bathe and crap and grunt through our petty moments of passion? You think they're not laughing at us? Crawling around like dung beetles in our minuscule tracts of dirt? Alright, so they don't laugh at anything. No joy, no rage, no fear, no sorrow, cold as a witch's tit. My parents were born in another century. They had known. They believed there was meaning to life. God, country, family, work. The summer sun on your face, the smell of rain on the prairie, baseball and hot dogs. How could they have guessed that the great benevolent universe they innocently brought their children into is potentially a more sinister place than their simple picture of Satan's hell? Or that their son would wind up one of the dozen poor SOBs who actually found that out firsthand? How can you shoot back at some bastard giving you the finger when the damn thing's not even in your own goddamn dimension? Krauts, Mr. President? Pow, pow, pow! Auf Wiedersehen! Jap, sir! Kaboom! Banzai! Ruskies? Let me at 'em! Dos Vidanya! I can take the bullets, and the shrapnel, and the bombs, and the mushroom clouds. I'm made of solid American steel. Here, pound on this! This is the Secretary of Defense of the United States of America. A man of war. A real soldier. Throw me a real enemy, one I can damn well aim at, and I'll annihilate him. But this... is anything real anymore? Is this how cattle feel when they finally figure out at the last minute what the hell's going on? That those peaceful green pastures all lead to a slaughterhouse? My father didn't raise me to be Flash Gordon. I want to be with my parents. The old universe. Old one. Old one.
Will that be all then, sir?
You want more?
Sorry, Mr. Secretary.
Fuck you. It's a favor. You deal with them.
And who might that be?
You'll see.
Shit!
I wish I may. I wish I might.
I wish I could pick out presents for children like my wife can. You should see her go. Shoes, clothes, PJs, toys, you name it. She knows all the sizes and preferences. Me, I can't tell one set of toy soldiers from another, let alone the difference between this pair of Buster Browns and that one.
Get a load of this. Now Truman's saying he wants to break up the Army and the Air Force into separate branches. So much for the left hand knowing what the right hand is doing.
Colonel Blanchard, what am I going to do? I'm in big trouble here.
You wonder why everybody laughs at the words Air Force intelligence? The 4th's coming up. Why don't you just get your boy all the fireworks he has?
You don't understand, sir. It's his birthday.
Jesse Jr.? Sure enough, the 4th of July?
My 4'2" Uncle Sam. He's a pistol.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell are they? Have you read this?
What, sir?
Some idiot federal marshal on some aerial search in the Cascade Mountains is claiming his private plane was passed by a formation of flying objects traveling 1,700 miles an hour. Hell, that's twice the speed of sound. Everybody knows no one can fly that fast and live.
Does he give a description?
Says they look like saucers skipping across a pond.
Flying saucers? Could be the Soviets. Maybe they're testing something new.
If it's true, don't you think Uncle Sam's gonna know about it before the Associated Press? These Hicktown papers will print anything. I ought to give that bastard a phone call.
Maybe he really believes he saw them.
This podunk publisher?
The pilot, sir. Maybe he believes it's true.
So the hell what? Remember what happened the time that imbecile, what's his name? H.G. Wells got on the blasted radio and told everyone in the whole United States the Martians were invading New Jersey?
I believe that imbecile was Orson Welles, sir. People weren't jumping out of windows and things in some kind of...
The word, Major, is panic. Who knows what the hell kind of mass hysteria a story like this in the papers could cause? People are skittish. Flying fucking saucers. Jesus fucking Christ.
Come on, Colonel. That was 10 years ago. This is 1947. If that story were true, surely the 5 of 9th would have been notified before any other air group. We have the bomb, for God's sake.
Born on the 4th of July, eh?
My boy?
How do you like that?
We're awful proud of him. He deserves a real special birthday present. Did you just change the subject?
Keep squeezing that so-called intelligence, Major Marcel. You'll come up with something for that Yankee Doodle.
Wish I knew what.
Wait a minute. I lost it again. What the hell year is this?
Forgotten already?
A simple answer will suffice, Doctor.
Let's see. Put simply, for the last time today, outside it's 1950. Inside we don't refer to the year. We call it the horizon, as you know, Admiral. How long have we been at this?
You know I get turned around sometimes. I'll never get used to it.
What the hell do you think the manual's for? To wipe your ass on?
Just give the call to order.
Are we all present?
General Montague, Dr. Berkner, and Dr. Bronk are at Sandia. Admiral Sowers is at Fort Bliss.
Dr. Hunsaker's in Germany and Secretary Gray is on leave.
You mean on vacation? Where's Vandenberg? He's never missed a meeting before.
The general's at Langley. Some kind of CIA business. Looks like we're the skeleton crew.
This meeting is called to order. Item. The vacancy created by Secretary Forrestal's suicide last year. Regarding his replacement, it appears we finally have a unanimous consensus, but...
We know all this. Cut the damn formalities. Bring him in.
General Smith?
Admiral Hillencotter, General Twining, Dr. Bush, Dr. Menzel, such distinguished company. Will one of you kindly tell me what in blue blazes this is all about? Why have I been brought here to some secret vault in the Pentagon?
Just like the rest of us, General. Because you were personally invited by your commander-in-chief.
How come I haven't been briefed, General?
The material is somewhat...
sensitive.
Don't jerk me off. I know what's going on. Hell! You guys are developing secret weapons.
Can you still obey orders, soldier?
That depends, Admiral, on who's giving them.
Sir, I speak for the President. Sit down. I'm ordering you to clear your mind of any and all preconceptions you have about the way things are.
I don't follow you, Admiral.
You will draw a total blank, sir. Forget what you think you know. And I mean every goddamn thing. What's up, what's down, who your ever-loving mother was. Am I clear? This is cosmic top secret. Beyond eyes only. What you're about to hear never leaves this room. Ears only. We are going to brief you.
Have the wish I wish tonight. I wish I could fly away in a spaceship and meet a little boy from another world. That would be swell. And I could give him something of mine to remember me by. And he could give me something of his to take back home and keep forever.
Jazzy Jr., come inside, son. Storm cloud's headed this way.
Yes, sir. That's what I wish for. First star, first star.
O Blessed Virgin Mother of God, be with us tonight in this raging tempest. The desert is an awesome place for testing faith, especially Blessed Virgin in a world ruled by ruthless, greedy men. Their war to end all wars is over, but at what cost to the rest of us? I've seen the pictures of the horrific atomic cloud, which they tell us has ushered in a new age. Of what, Blessed Mother? Of men shooting each other with bigger guns over greater distances? I hear the thunder, and I tremble with terror. What is goodness? What is righteousness? What are miracles? Although I am only a poor woman in the service of our Heavenly Father, and my faith is merely a tiny drop in the great ocean, I know that the ocean is larger for my trust. But where are the angels now? The great miracles, the revelations. 11:20 p.m. July 4th, 1947. A bright star fell from heaven and disappeared into the desert of New Mexico. As a reverend mother, I have never ever wondered if we are alone, or if God is merciful. But the sky out there is so vast, and I have seen such things. I know in my bones that someone just died out there. But who? What is this strange universe that we have been summoned into, where yesterday and tomorrow are illusions, where space and time are one? The deeper I look into that sky, the deeper is my wonder. What is to become of our souls? Oh, blessed, blessed Mother of God.
I know. Folks see this here cowboy hat, they think, dumb old hillbilly. But I tell y'all what, I'm the foreman over to the Foster Ranch. I've been around these parts my whole life, and, well, with the military base out here and all, I've seen some pretty strange things fall out of the sky. But I gotta say, what I seen last night in that storm, flat takes the cake. This wasn't no meteor with one of them long tails that blew up in the sky. This was the brightest light I ever seen. Blinding, I mean, like the sun out over the plains, with a bang like nothing you ever heard before. I rode out to see if there's anything left of the fireball. Boy, howdy did I get an eyeful. Like a twister'd been there. I mean, that debris was scattered from here to yonder. Sheep wouldn't cross it, wouldn't go near it. And you know them sheep'll eat just about anything. I picked some up and brung it in a box so you could see for yourself. I ain't lying. This stuff's downright exotic, if you get my drift.
Now, let's not go jumping to conclusions just yet, Mr. Brazel.
Call me Mac, Sheriff. Everybody does.
You and I both know the Roswell Army Air Force does a lot of secret missions and such around here. Hell, they flew the bombs to Hiroshima and Nagasaki without one of us catching a hint. You gotta admit, those boys are smooth. Maybe you've got some part of a rocket they launched that didn't fare so well. But we better call the base and see if they're missing anything before we go bringing any undue attention to your box of doohickeys, if you get my drift.
Oh, yes, sir, Sheriff. I hear you loud and clear.
Sheriff, what's this all about?
He says it's some kind of wreckage, scattered clean across half a mile of prairie.
Along with a deep gouge in the ground along the football field that I reckon ain't gonna heal anytime soon.
Wreckage? Of what?
We thought you might know.
Well, sure as heck's not something of ours.
Maybe you should call White Sands and see if it was one of theirs.
There's been nothing doing all week, either here or there.
I hear telling some newspaper back east offering $5,000 for a piece of a flying saucer.
Flying saucer?
Well, shoot, yeah. Take a gander at this. Huh? How about them apples? Boys, is there some kind of writing on my forehead I don't know about that says, this fool's not playing with a full deck? I'm sorry,
Keep your mind open, General, and your mouth shut. That's an order.
Did you say as long as a football field?
Man, this thing had to have been huge. And to carve out a hunk of prairie like that, it must have been traveling lickety-split. If it belongs to you folks, come on out and get it. But this here's going to take a whole bunch of trucks. Biggins. Hell, drive out and have a look. I'll take you right to it.
Why me?
You're the base intelligence officer. This may need to be kept under wraps.
I don't see why, sir. It's probably just an ordinary weather balloon. They get pretty beat up out there and hard to recognize sometimes.
Show 'em.
I'll be damned. It's so light. Like there's nothing in my hand. Like there's nothing in my hand at all.
What do you make of that?
This ain't from around here, is it? It's from somewheres real far away.
You better go have a look at this crash, Major.
Have you said one word about this to anyone?
Only my neighbor, Loretta Proctor. She's the one told me to run and take it to the sheriff.
Now we have to kill her. Just kidding, for Pete's sake. Jeez. Is everyone so serious? Let's get going, Mr. Brazil.
Oh, call me Mac. Everybody does.
What kind of drive are we looking at?
Oh, it's peace. West of Lost and north of nowhere. You're going to want to spend the night at the ranch.
I'll phone your wife.
Thanks. Where's this Ms. Proctor live? We don't want her going and telling everybody.
I'll show you. Nice old gal. You'll like her. Got a good head on her shoulders. Yes, sir. Got a good head on her shoulders.
You didn't happen to show her that piece of whatever it is, did you?
Sure enough did.
What'd she think?
Flying saucer.
Still with us, General?
How much more of this briefing do you grown men intend to subject me to?
No, we've barely scratched the surface.
I don't get it. I got up with the sun today, shaved, had my shower, drank my coffee, dressed, took my usual morning constitutional. Then my wife and I drove to the ballpark and watched our grandson pitch his first game. I don't even remember who won. I was so proud. I didn't care. The air was so crisp and clear. The sun so warm on my skin. Felt like, well, I was 20 again. My wife, she looked so... On the way home from the ball game, all I could think about was how much I wanted her. To touch her, smell her, feel her heartbeat. Then we turned down the driveway and saw that black sedan with the government plates. After what feels like a soiled and wasted lifetime of intelligence work, I thought I'd finally discovered the meaning of life this morning, somewhere around the third inning. The next thing I know, I'm being driven by a military escort, by a couple of goons, to a dark vault in the Pentagon. I don't like what you're telling me, and I definitely do not care to hear any more.
I thought you understood. You have no choice.
Under whose authority?
I told you. The President of the United States. By executive order.
Get me that son of a bitch on the phone.
Truman, it doesn't work like that here. You think you're still in 1950, but you're not.
What the hell's this guy been drinking?
In this room, there is no time. No 1950, no 1968, no 1984. It's all one.
What the hell?
It's true. Which president would you prefer? Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon?
Nixon?
Ford, Carter, Ronald Reagan?
The actor?
We know it's a trifle disorienting at first, but don't worry. When you walk out tonight, it'll be 1950 again, and you'll still be Truman's chief of staff. You'll discover after a while that it's all quite ephemeral.
You haven't said one goddamn thing since I got here that makes a lick of sense to me.
General Smith, a small black box about yay big was brought into this vault and stored here at one time. Apparently, it radiated a low-level gravity field that has indelibly left its mark on the room.
Still don't get you.
It left both time and space in here permanently distorted.
What the hell's a gravity field? Gentlemen, I've never heard such a crock of shit in my life, and I'm no Banty Rooster.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Remember, he's never heard a peep about any of this before.
Well, I sure have, and it still throws me sometimes.
Try to think of it as an induction, General, into the most elite fraternity on the planet.
To continue with the briefing,
Sun ought to be up in a few more minutes. Guess we got here a mite early.
Keep your shirt on. Flashlight ain't gonna show much. I seen some pretty big rattlers out there yesterday. Got so distracted I clean forgot to take care of them. Reckon we're better off hunkering down here till we can see the ground.
What's that over there?
Ain't real sure. Oh, nothing. Just a tarantula.
Shouldn't we kill it?
What for? Don't mean it's no harm. See? It knows we're here, but it ain't scared. Just keeps crawling along, nice and calm, minding its own business.
You must be pretty used to the desert at night.
I seen a whole nest of them stinging scorpions once. They glowed in the dark, just like a radium dial on my watch. I tripped over an old stump full of them. Dang near stung me half to death. Guess it's no secret I got away. But them rattlers, you don't ever want to give them the chance. They don't need light to see. You think I'm crazy, don't you?
I think there's probably a reasonable explanation for whatever you found out here.
I ain't sure about reasonable, but I do know that shit ain't like nothing I ever seen from this earth.
Ever hear about fugos? Those thousands of paper balloon bombs that Japs launched towards the end of the war?
Ever hear about good old-fashioned common sense? Yeah, looks like morning. Come on. You tell me.
My God. You said it was big, but I never believed it.
That look like any kind of balloon you ever seen before?
What on earth happened here?
Like I said, you tell me.
Odd. I don't hear any birds chirping, do you?
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. Not one bird, not even a fly. Like the sky itself was poison.
Just tinsel and what is this? Balsa wood?
Don't try cutting that. I did. Broke my damn blade. And it don't burn neither.
No sign of an engine or a tail fin. Sure as heck's not any aircraft I've ever seen. Suppose it could have been a Russian blimp flying up low from Mexico and it
Major, exactly how big would a Russian blimp have to be to leave behind that much debris?
You got a telephone back at the ranch?
Yeah, and we got us an indoor toilet too.
I'll ring the base to send out some trucks and haul this stuff away.
Let's get. Still think I'm crazy?
Hell if I know what to think. You hear something?
Sure do. Ain't nothing out there but sand and brush. Wonder where they're headed.
It's me.
This better be an awful big surprise, Jess. That's all I have to say. Dragging us out of bed at this unholy hour?
Look,
My table.
I brought it in the trunk of the car.
What is it, Dad?
What's it look like?
A pile of junk.
Let me show you something. Surprise.
Wow.
All right, you've built your suspense. Now what is it?
I'm not real sure. Something I found out on a ranch northwest of town.
It's like magic.
I don't understand. What's it doing here?
Hey, this one's got writing on it.
Let me see that.
Is it Egyptian?
No? Or Chinese either. Figured it out yet? Son, what if I told you that this could be your moment of destiny? As the very first person on Earth to gaze upon writing that's not of this world.
You mean, like from another planet? Jeepers.
Jess?
What else could it be, Vi? An I-beam engraved with those unearthly purple symbols? I wanted him to see it with his own eyes. Who knows, by tomorrow it could all be top secret. Something crashed out there in the desert file. Something that wasn't from around here.
Jess, hush. You want to give him nightmares?
I'm not afraid, Mama. Really. This is the most exciting night of my whole life. Can I keep it, Dad? Huh? Please, can I keep it?
Oh, no. Not in my house you can't.
Please, Dad.
Well, only if you promise not to let anyone else know about it.
I promise.
You sure?
Yes, sir. I'm sure. Sure as sure can be.
You better be. Because a soldier never breaks a promise, you hear?
Gee, thanks, Dad. This is the best birthday present I ever got.
Run, put it away, and don't go telling anybody. You heard your father. Are you sure it's safe?
What could you possibly be afraid of?
I don't know. But something's not right.
Earth to Mars. Earth to Mars. Over. Come in, Mars. Do you read me? Over.
What in Sam Hill's going on, Colonel? My deputy and I took us a drive out to the Foster Ranch to see what's up, and we run into a damn military blockade.
Halt, sir. Turn your car around and drive away.
Son, Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Colonel's orders, sir.
You're talking to the goddamn county sheriff!
Sorry, sir. Highway's been cordoned off clear past the Corona exit.
Corona? That's 60 miles from here. Somebody better tell me what the hell's going on, and fast.
Can you keep a secret, Sheriff?
Well, hell yes, I can keep a damn secret.
So can I.
Don't feed me that horse shit, Blanchard. I got a county to look after. And when the folks in these parts don't feel safe, they turn to me, not to the goddamn Army Air Force. Now, is that thing from outer space, or isn't it?
Hell if I know.
If it is, maybe you ought to tell folks.
That's something from another star, something that was intelligently designed, crashed near the most sensitive military base in the world. Sure. God knows how many acres it was spread over. 100 truckloads, and you know what the whole thing weighs? Less than 5 pounds. But what gets me is no trace of any kind of propulsion system whatsoever, or any bodies.
Maybe that wasn't all of it. Maybe that was just part of it. Folks sure have been seeing a lot of whirlybirds out Corona ways. If there's more to know about this, then they have a right to know it, unless the Land of Enchantment's not part of the Union anymore. Now, I want to know, is it or isn't it?
I'll have to get back to you on that. Major, we have to talk.
Yes, sir.
You realize this could be the most important event in the history of mankind?
It has occurred to me, sir.
We're going to have to make some quick decisions here.
I believe the protocol is for you to forward the recovered material to General Ramey in Fort Worth.
Say I do. Then where does he send it? To Wright Field or to Hoover?
I see.
It is a problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think, due to the profound nature of the situation, sir, I think that everyone in the world's entitled to know about this. For crying out loud, sir, it's from another world.
Couldn't agree with you more, Major. Get Lieutenant Hart on this right now. I want a goddamn press release on my desk in 1 hour.
Sir!
Mr. Secretary.
General Ramey, sorry I'm so late. Ran into some weather over St. Louis.
Just about to start without you. So what brings the Defense Department down to Fort Worth on such a hot day?
What can you tell me
Let's
about
see
our
how you
employees
like those
that fly
headlines,
tonight,
Ramey,
Ross?
old boy.
I hear they found
After this, your goddamn
so.
8th Air Force is going to be mine.
Or something interesting.
How interesting.
Now that remains to be seen.
Am I going to have to go there myself?
Give Colonel Blanchard some time. Let's see what he's going to do first.
I think that's safe.
There's your press release, sir.
Hold on to it, Major. We may have to revise our story. There's been a slight development.
What, sir?
Our copters have found something else. About 60 miles west-northwest of your debris field.
What did they find?
Well, the reconnaissance photos are pretty straightforward. Looks like a crashed disc to me.
Well, I'll be. Intact?
We'll see. Ought to be here tomorrow.
I'll just sit on this for now.
You do that.
Let me get this straight. It blew up over the Foster Ranch 60 miles northwest of Roswell, then continued on some 60 more miles until it crashed into that cliff?
Sir, yes, sir.
Where are we, soldier?
Just outside of Corona, sir.
And no one's been near it or seen it other than the search helicopters? No one at all?
Sir, no, sir.
No one but us.
I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
And who might you be, friend?
Barney Barnett, friend, you?
General Nathan Twining, Commander, Air Materiel, Wright Field.
Wright Field? That's in Ohio, isn't it? Pretty far piece from home, aren't you?
What do you do, Barney?
Civil engineer general for the federal government. Soil conservation, stuff like that. Don't usually see many people around here, but this morning I spotted a whole group gathered around something down below the cliff. Bunch of archaeology students from back east. Thought it was a plane crash.
Why'd you warn me not to touch it?
See all the dead plants around it? That's why. Said they were looking for early signs of man in this region.
What's under those blankets, Barney?
You don't want to know.
Mr. Barnett, this is a restricted area. I'm afraid I have to ask you to leave at once.
Restricted my ass. I've been working here for 20 years. Turn me loose.
Mr. Barnett, you weren't here today, and you didn't see a thing. Is that clear?
Fire department was out here earlier putting out the flames. You gonna round them up and set your dogs on them too?
Thanks for the information.
What kind of Gestapo bullshit is this?
You were never here. Is that clear?
Clear.
Good choice. Let him go. We all have our patriotic duties, Mr. Barnett. A small price to pay for a safe life.
Are you threatening me?
Yes, sir. I am threatening you, sir. Now get the hell out of here and don't look back or these men will shoot to kill.
Jesus Christ. I'm a goddamn veteran.
We'll be watching you. All right, you. Over here. And you over there. On the count of 3, I want you boys to shove with all your might.
Are you kidding, sir? There's only 2 of us. This thing must weigh tons.
Let me do the thinking, soldier. 1, 2, 3! I never
The damn thing's still running.
What do we do now, sir?
kid. Look over there.
Over there, sir?
Until I tell you otherwise, that's in order.
Sir! Yes, sir!
Roswell Army Airfield captures flying saucer. That's catchy. Rumors became a reality yesterday. I like that. When the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc. Ah, damn! Through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers in the sheriff's office of Chaves County. Now, I want this on all the wires right away. Possession of a disc. This is great. Let me hear you say it, Major.
This is great, sir.
No, not that. Let me hear you say it.
Say what, Colonel?
You know, let me hear you say it.
General Blanchard, sir.
Boy, Major.
What the hell is this? The Roswell Army Airfield's base commander announced at noon today that the base has come into possession of a flying saucer? What the hell is this?
Idiots!
That stupid asshole Blanchard. What the hell does he think he's doing?
Get me the president on the phone.
Now, hold on. Don't you want to think about this for a minute?
I said, get me the president.
Shit.
Mr. President.
Harry, sit down, boys. What is the meaning of this preposterous story about Roswell in every damn newspaper in the country?
So we were...
Flying saucers? Why wasn't I informed about this, Admiral? Mr. Secretary? I think we all know where the buck stops.
It's not just a story. It's true, Harry.
You mean to sit there and tell me straight-faced that Roswell Army Airfield actually has some kind of alien spacecraft in its possession?
So it would seem, sir.
What imbecile confirmed this?
General Twining, sir.
In person?
Absolutely.
You better be damn serious.
We are, sir.
I have to say it takes a moment. Look, I don't know what started all this hoopla about flying saucers lately, and frankly, I don't care. But I can tell you one thing for certain. The citizens of this country damn sure aren't ready for anything like this. Who the hell prepared that goddamn press release?
We're looking into that, sir.
Fine, I want his head on a silver platter. I want his balls in a glass jar. I even want his goddamn typewriter so I can smash it myself. Now then, who okayed it?
Colonel Blanchard, sir.
I want that story killed, and I mean killed dead. Do you hear me? Pronto!
Yes, sir.
Where is the damn thing?
You mean the disc, sir?
Whatever you want to call it.
General Ramey contacted Colonel Blanchard personally and ordered it to be flown straight to him in Fort Worth today.
Oh, great. So now it's in Texas. Why, that's reassuring as hell. And who gets to take the heat for this mindless blunder?
I think General Ramey has someone in mind, sir.
Yeah, you bet your sweet life he does.
Sergeant, did you happen to notice if a Major Marcel was on that flight from Roswell?
Yes, sir. He oversaw the unloading of the crates, sir. Wouldn't let us near them.
These intelligent guys. What a pain in the ass. Can you find him for me?
He's been waiting outside your office for an hour, sir.
That's why he chose the military, Sergeant. to wait on generals. Send them in. Where's my disc, Major? All I see here is a bunch of debris.
It's what Colonel Blanchard sent, sir.
You don't say. Where's the rest of it?
On another plane, sir. Headed to...
Right field?
Correct, sir.
That arrogant son of a... Who authorized him to go over my head?
The President, sir.
God damn it. So, I get the rubbish and General Twining gets the good stuff, eh?
Looks that way, General, sir.
All right, then. If that's how we're going to play, since your base commander likes publicity so much, we're going to show him how we do things in a big city. You're in Fort Worth now, boy. You're going to find out that our press corps is not a bunch of hicks. I want you in my office at 1400 hours, Major, looking sharp.
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you, Major.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show that bastard.
Human beings, such fragile creatures, so adept at conceiving values, but so incapable of living up to them. Just depends, I suppose, on which way the wind's blowing. We have a way of life to protect. People like getting up on Sundays, putting on their best and going to church and worshiping God. Makes us feel good, makes us feel safe. Knowing there's a family in the White House that looks just like we do, watches over us like God and his army of angels, kind of rounds it out. We may have our problems, but our civilization is patterned after our idea of heaven. And one day, something from the great beyond crashes in the desert, and without warning, our innocence is lost. We find out that our skies are no longer controlled by us. Compared to theirs, our technology looks pretty damn primitive, even to us. Our best defenses are more or less tinker toys. Suddenly, we're not the brightest or the toughest kids on the block anymore, much less the most intelligent beings in the whole damn universe. Suddenly, the question of gods or even presidents becomes a very real and very disturbing question. So who are they? What are they? Why are they coming here? And what would the good people of this country think if they knew that I was the last one of us to find out? Where does the buck stop now? Thank you, God.
Hold it. I want more debris in this picture, Major. Get down on your knees. But gentlemen, what we have here are the infamous remains of your so-called crashing flying disc, retrieved and identified by Intelligence Officer Major Jesse Marcel of the renowned 509. As you can see for yourselves, Major Marcel is apparently not familiar enough with the common weather balloons that the Army Air Force launches every day from Roswell to recognize a downed one when he sees it. Now, as for this mysterious tinfoil everyone's been hearing about, it hangs down from the balloon like a kite's tail, you see, as a simple radar reflector target. How anyone with Major Marcel's experience could possibly mistake such an ordinary artifact for a spaceship driven by little green men can only be attributed to the recent rash of hysterical sightings in every state except Kansas, which we all know is dry. And furthermore...
What does he think he's doing? As if I haven't seen a million damn weather balloons picked up off the prairie. This isn't what I brought on the plane. I saw it. My son saw it. That wasn't tinfoil. Don't speak. You're under orders. Smile for the cameras. Try not to look too bewildered. They're going to clap a lid on this tighter than a belt on a wasp. Bigger than the bomb. I'm the fall guy. They've got me right where they want me. But this just doesn't belong to the military. This is a revelation of cosmic proportions. How can a handful of men just grab the truth and seal it off from the whole human race? It must go clear to the top. Why are they all reacting with fear when they should be responding with wonder? Everybody has a right to know about this. Everyone on the planet. Everyone! What about the hieroglyphs, you son of a bitch? You're not going to tell them about the purple writing, are you?
Furthermore, the foil was stuck to these balsa wood sticks with simple cellophane tape, decorated with fancy purple flowers, which I know some folks want to believe represents a message from another world. Sorry to disappoint you. Frankly, I'm surprised you news people fell for it. Thought you were supposed to be smarter than that. Okay, men, let's wrap it up. Show's over, that's all there is.
General, this sure doesn't look anything like the description in yesterday's press release from Roswell.
I know.
I wonder if we could ask Major Marcel a few questions, sir.
Not if you value your jobs.
What's that supposed to infer, General?
The Major will not be taking any questions. This conference is over. On your feet, Major. Look, I know that was rough. You deserved it. You're a trained intelligence officer, for God's sakes. How dare you not instantly recognize the sensitivity of this totally unexplored situation?
Sir, I know I saw what I saw.
So the hell what? You're a soldier. Your goddamn eyeballs belong to me. If you found the formula for the goddamn atomic bomb in your mailbox, would you go out and call a fucking press conference? What the hell were you thinking, Major?
About people, I guess, sir.
Swell. You ever gonna make that idiot mistake again?
No, sir.
Hey, it took you licking like a good soldier. Generals get orders too. They don't have to like them. So don't worry about this, all right? Give it some time, and I'll put you in for a nice, quiet promotion. You and that damn fool colonel of yours. Now get your ugly face out of here and don't let me run into it again.
Morning, Roswell. This is Frank Joyce, your KGFL Roswell station manager. Don't set down that cup of coffee. Your ears are gonna perk up when I tell you who we've got down here with a story that is out of this world. Local rancher Bill Brazel, better known around these parts as Mac, got some pretty spectacular fireworks northwest of town this July the 4th, didn't you, Mac?
Well, I'll tell you, Frank, this here wasn't no fireworks. This here was something that fell out of the sky and crashed onto the ground. Tore up the field pretty good, too.
Was it an airplane?
It wasn't like nothing I ever seen before on this earth, Frank.
How about a weather balloon?
Heck, them things come down all the time out there, and I never seen one tear up the ground like that, or leave a trail of debris across half a mile. I tell you, if that thing was a dang weather balloon, then I'll eat it, without salt or pepper.
Well, this seems like a good place as any to pause for a minute for a word about Bromo Seltzer. I hear they're cording off the highway, clean up the Corona.
It's bigger than Coca-Cola.
Anything to those rumors about casualties?
I dang sure didn't see any. If there was anyone on board that son of a bitch, they was vaporized.
Mac Brazel?
That's me.
Let's go.
Hey!
What the hell's going on here?
Who do you think you're strong-arming, Mr. Soldier? You don't see no dog tags hanging around my neck.
You the station manager?
I sure as hell am. I want to know what gives you the right to
Was
bust
that
it.
live?
We're planning to run it bright and early tomorrow morning while the coffee's on. Don't want the papers getting too far ahead of us on this story.
One word of that interview turns up on the airwaves, and the only casualty around here is going to be your license to broadcast. Let's go.
No, you let go! You can't do this to me! I know my goddamn rights!
Cora, get me Colonel Blanchard on the phone.
Now you listen to me, Frank, and you listen real close. That's no idle threat about your license. Those orders come from General Rainey in Fort Worth, and his orders come from Washington. Get the picture? That story's been killed, and all discussion of it. Period. Am I clear? Why do I have to deal with every godforsaken sheep herder in this dark patch?
Sir, it's Sheriff Wilcox.
Come in, George. Glad to see you. Thank you, Captain. How you doing, Sheriff?
Not bad, Colonel. You?
Well, our hands have been pretty full here lately, as you know. How's your wife?
My wife?
Yeah, your wife. How is she? I hear you and Inez have been married for a pretty long time. How many years is it anyway? Be a shame if something were to happen to one or the other of you. Be a real shame, George.
Have you lost your mind? Why are you threatening me, Butch? And my wife? What the hell's she got to do with this?
Sorry, George. It's not me. Believe me, you're safer with your nose out of this. You don't want to know what's going on. We're up against some pretty tough customers here, and they're playing pretty rough.
So what's all this mean? Just tell me.
Tell you what, you know this is a sensitive issue. Hell, I wrote that damn report myself, and now they're so secret even I can't read them. You don't know anything, okay?
You mean about the disc that crashed?
Sheriff, you're not getting into the spirit of this.
This is bullshit!
Look, I'm trying to be a friend, all right? Do I have to spell it out for you?
You don't have to hit me in the head with a 2x4. I can smell the pinto beans on the fire. Fine. Then I don't know a damn thing. Just a dumb old county sheriff eating my chicken fried steak and planning my retirement and helping little old ladies cross the street.
It's safer that way.
I just don't understand why. Don't people have a right to know? I mean, don't we count it all? The truth, Colonel. Why won't you tell me? I may not be in the service, but I, and not you, am the elected law in this territory. Ask anyone on the street if you can trust me. Go ahead, ask anyone.
The truth, Sheriff? You and I both know the truth is always dependent on one thing. On which lying bastard writes it. It's out of our hands now. Forget about it. You behave yourself here.
Just a few more minutes, Daddy, please.
Sorry, Frankie, that's all she wrote. Have to get to the station. Fires don't keep bankers' hours. Hey, this is private property. What the heck are you...
Lieutenant Dwyer.
What's this all about?
Where is it?
Come again?
Daddy!
Where is it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Where's what?
Don't hurt my daddy!
You know where it is, don't you? He showed it to you, didn't he?
Leave her be. She's just a child.
Where'd your daddy put it, honey?
Don't answer him, Frankie. We don't know these people.
Tell me the truth. Where'd he put it? Come on, little girl. Your daddy stole something. Something real important. We know he showed it to you. Down at the fire station. Let you play with it, didn't he? Didn't he? That was very bad. Now, why don't you be good and tell us where he put it? Know what happens to little girls' brains when you drop them on their heads?
You better watch what you...
Don't!
You haven't got all day, little girl.
It's in the house.
That's more like it. We're in the house.
In a drawer.
Come, show me.
The police are gonna hear about this. You bet they are.
Oh, now I'm real scared.
Why are you doing this? You guys have no authority off base. Not to go around assaulting private citizens on their own property.
Maybe you'd rather we took you and your brat out into the desert?
You've got no call to...
So, you didn't know what we were talking about, hey? How many people did you show this to? Talk, mister!
Tell your pal to get his foot off my goddamn...
How many?
Just a few boys at the station. My girl was there, so I let her play with it a while. Is that a crime?
You have no idea. Was there anyone else?
No!
Where'd you get this?
Our department was called to stop a brush fire out Corona ways and...
No, you weren't. There was no fire out near Corona.
Is that a fact?
You never went there. And you never saw this.
Well, hell, it's right there in your hand. Of course I've seen it.
You never saw it either.
Did too. It's magic. No matter how much you wrinkle it up, it always smooths itself right back out the way it's supposed to be.
You tell any of your friends about this?
Daddy told me not to.
You always obey your daddy?
Of course.
Then I gather you won't mind obeying Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam wants you to forget all about this.
Uncle Sam isn't real.
I'll tell you what's real. There's a mighty big desert out there. You ever say one word to anyone at all, and I guarantee you'll disappear. Just like that. Coyotes will be picking your bones out of the sand. That's what's real. Understand?
Frankie, tell him you promised not to tell anyone.
But I already did tell somebody.
Who did you tell?
Tommy.
Who's Tommy?
Tommy's her imaginary friend.
You didn't say I couldn't tell him.
You don't want to disappear, do you? And you don't want your daddy or his friends at the fire department to disappear either, do you? Well, do you?
No, sir.
Then you never saw anything.
But I never saw anything.
What about you, Lieutenant? Speak up.
Never saw a blessed thing.
You ever say you did, and we'll know. Remember how big that desert is.
You dumb, stupid hayseed! You ignorant, displaced oaky cornpone! You half-witted sheep-fucking moron!
Who are you calling a hayseed?
You pitiful excuse for an American citizen! Are you going to cooperate, or are we going to have to send home for our shaving kits?
I still don't understand what you want me to do.
Okay, Mr. Brazil, let's go back to the beginning, shall we?
I got nothing more to say! And I've told you everything I know at least 10 times. I want to get out of this place and go home. You kept me without food, without sleep, without coffee. Only thing you give me is tap water so you can keep me talking. Talking in circles. Trying to trip me up, to confuse me. Well, I'll tell you straight. This ain't like any picture I can recollect of America. You guys, you're like some kind of demons from the world of darkness.
Look, will you just go back on the radio and admit that you were deliberately stretching the truth? Yes or no?
You and I both know that's a lie. So why waste your time asking? I got kids, man. They don't want a town joke for a father. Besides, what are you offering to do for me, huh? Where's my reward money for finding a piece of a flying saucer, huh? I earned it. Didn't I? Fair and square.
This isn't about your damn reward, Brazil. It's about our national security.
Our national security depends on whether or not some good-looking ranch foreman says he saw a damn weather balloon. I ain't no fool. I sure as hell can't remember the last time you folks sealed off the damn highway for 100 miles to recover a crashed balloon. Can you?
That stretch of road gets longer every time I hear about it. Why don't you spare us all the grief? You know you're not leaving here until you agree to admit that what you saw was nothing more or less than a weather balloon. Listen, Brazil, I've only got so much time to make a deal.
Let's see your damn chips! Put them on the table like a man! Show me what you got.
That does it! Somebody get me a sidearm. I'm gonna shoot this infuriating bastard myself!
I ain't scared of you.
That's your problem! You should be! Before the night's through, I'm gonna bore a hole in your goddamn empty head and pour hot piss in it till your vocal cords rupture from the screaming!
Well, fuck you is what they're gonna be screaming! So you might as well go ahead and get your damn drill.
Suppose he doesn't directly call it a weather balloon.
How's that?
What if he just admits that he exaggerated and really has no idea what the blessed thing was?
Exaggerated my ass?
Not good enough. He has to sell that blasted weather balloon, and he has to sound like he means it.
I ain't no salesman.
You must want something, Mr. Brazil. Why don't you tell us what?
Well, now that you mention it, I've been hearing about this older couple down in Cruces looking to sell a nice, profitable meat locker business that they're getting kind of tired of running. And that 20-year-old truck of mine back in town's been a real pain in the ass for years. Like I say, let's see your chips.
Jesus Christ, you drive a hard bargain.
Can I have my clothes back now?
Let's just go over this one more time.
Howdy, Sheriff.
Sure is culture, ain't it?
102.
Is that right?
Here it's 85 in D.C.
Bastards.
Looking forward to your umpteenth re-election come fall?
No, sir. Don't want a thing more to do with law enforcement. Hell, not after this. I'm finished. Any word on Mac Brazil?
Got a call from the base. Say he wants to recant.
They?
Got to give him credit. Held him off for 5 goddamn days. Must have brainwashed the poor son of a bitch.
I don't know anything.
Mom, I figured it out.
Figured out what?
What it says. The writing.
Oh, you did you?
Want me to translate it for you?
I want your father to come home.
He's okay, Mama.
I don't like not knowing where he is.
He's fine. Remember what he always says. Military intelligence is about keeping secrets.
I don't like secrets. They're like bladders. They have a tendency to burst.
Want to hear my translation?
Oh, don't be silly. No one can translate that,
Greetings,
son.
Earth creatures.
Stop it.
Do not be afraid. We come in peace and goodwill.
Now you're gonna get it. No more Buck Rogers for you, young man. Jess.
Dad!
Where on earth have you been?
You know, I can't say.
Are you all right?
This has been the longest 24 hours of my life. I had no idea. They decided to cover the whole thing up, and they're playing for keeps. Made me look like a fool. They made your dad look like a blundering fool.
No one can do that. No one could ever do that. Not to the man I married.
What a chump. They set me up in front of a wrecked weather balloon and turned the newspaper photographers loose on me like a pack of hounds.
But that stuff on the kitchen table wasn't from a weather balloon.
Made me look like a complete idiot.
Sometimes the military has to make up stories, son, that aren't true.
You mean they lie?
Sometimes they have to.
What for?
For our own good.
No. Not this time. This isn't good. This isn't good at all.
Boy, am I glad I got my piece of that spaceship in time.
Son, we need to talk about that.
When I get old, I'm gonna give this to my son. And when he gets old, he's gonna pass it on to his. And so on, forever in the family.
Son, I think we're going to have to...
You're the greatest, Dad. Guess I must be the luckiest kid in the whole wide world.
He has to give it back, doesn't he?
Yes.
It'll break his heart.
Don't. Bye.
I said I didn't want it in the house.
Please, don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Morning, Roswell. This is Frank Joyce, your KGFL Roswell station manager. We're joined this fine day by local rancher Bill Brazel, better known around these parts as Mac, who's here with the not-so-out-of-this-world story. Seems the flying saucer that crashed northwest of town a few days ago has now been identified by General Roger Ramey of the 8th Army Air Force as fragments of a fallen weather balloon. That about sums it up, doesn't it, Mac?
I'll say it again. What I seen in the desert definitely did not look like the remains of no weather balloon I ever seen before. But if that's what the Air Force says it is, well, who might argue? I hear tell people been calling Roswell from Tokyo and London and Rome and just about every other place you can name. I'm truly sorry for causing such a ruckus. You can bet your bottom dollar if I ever do stumble on a crashed spaceship, it'll be a cold day and you know where before I breathe a word of it to anyone. Meanwhile, I said I'd eat it without salt or pepper, and I'm a man who keeps his word, so bring it on.
Well, thank you, Mac. Folks, that was Mac Brazel, who drove 60 miles in this 100-degree heat to set the record straight. Guess it's just another reminder that no matter how hard they try, they can't get from here to there. You're listening to Frank Joyce, KGFL Roswell. Now, don't set down that cup of coffee. Hey, you okay, Mac?
Got a real bad taste in my mouth, that's all.
Sorry about the hour, Mr. President.
Yeah, so am I. Congress is picking my National Security Act to pieces. The Joint Chiefs are clamoring to get started dismantling that archaic Central Intelligence Group. Vandenberg's hounding me to give the whole operation over to lock, stock, and barrel to the Air Force. And Bess went to bed with cramps. Well, General?
Item 1942, Los Angeles, California. Unidentified craft mistaken for Japanese invasion, triggering armed response and inciting local panic. Item 1944. Widespread buzzing of both Allied and Axis fighters by unexplained balls of fire, each side attributing them to the other's secret weaponry. Item 1946. Yukon, Oklahoma. 6 discs flying in formation at incredible speed. Item 1947, Richmond, Virginia, a silver disc. Manitou Springs, Colorado, silver disc. Washington State, 6 silver discs. Since June 25th, formations of reddish discs sighted in Kansas City, Pueblo, Colorado, Oklahoma City, and Glens Falls, New York. Multiple sightings in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. In Roswell, New Mexico, a retrieved crash disc.
Sounds to me like a systematic invasion of our sovereign airspace. Do we know if they're hostile?
Wish I could say.
General, I want to know if we should be shooting the bastards down.
Sir, their technology is so advanced. It's doubtful we could hit one even with our most capable...
I'm ordering you to produce the capability.
Out of what? If we start aggressing against the things, they're damn likely to retaliate. What could we do to them? Nothing.
I've got 24 B-36 bombers at Roswell Army Airfield and a bunch of sunburned Japanese people that disagree.
Look, there's been no sign of aggression so far, except that they seem to revel in demonstrating that their craft can fly rings around ours. Like they're taunting us. The pilots call them Foo Fighters.
Well, they've certainly been going out of their way to bring themselves to our attention. Anybody ever seen one face to face? Answer me.
I do have my suspicions, sir.
Is that all you can report to me, General? Suspicions?
Sir, there's an awful lot of wrestling going on between the different branches.
That stops now.
How do you figure, Mr. President?
I know what to do. How's this stuff classified?
Top secret restricted, sir.
That's not good enough. I want it above top secret. All of it. As of this minute.
Sir, there is no such classification.
There is now. Who, I shudder to ask, is in custody of the disc?
I am, sir.
Well, thank God. That son of a bitch Hoover's breathing down my neck, demanding that I order it turned over to him. But he can't seem to find out where it is.
Right field, Area B, Hangar 18A.
Well, that's where it stays. The damn thing needs to be taken apart from top to bottom and studied.
Don't worry. We're rounding up all the right people.
I'll handle that.
Mr. President, sir, this is the last issue in the world you'd want to see become politicized.
Are you telling me my job?
Sir!
Don't forget who's commander-in-chief here. There's more at stake in this than the concerns of military intelligence. I don't have to tell you that.
Oh, no. If you want civilians involved, then you can have my resignation here and now. Sir!
I forbid it! If those things really are here, then I'm going to need my best generals. All of them. You want some cookies?
Sir, if I don't have a say in that list, I'm
God damn it, General! I'll tell you what you're going to do. Now, I want 6 goddamn military brass on this. Is that understood? 2 from each branch and 6 goddamn civilians. Let's see what kind of team the two of us can put together.
Welcome to the inner sanctum, General. To Operation Majestic 12.
Holy smoke. Who the hell do we work for? Who the hell do we answer to?
Starlight, starbright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. No wish. Just wanted to say thanks for everything.
Son,
Yes, sir?
we need to have a talk.
Did I do something wrong?
Gosh, no. Your mama and I are real proud of you, son. Real proud of you.
What's the matter?
I don't know how to say this. Sometimes we see things in a certain way, and the service, well, sometimes they see things differently.
We're not gonna have to move away from Roswell, are we?
It's about that. All that stuff's been declared top secret.
You knew it would be. It's only one small piece. I promise not to show it to anyone. Not ever in a million years.
We're family. We take each other at our word. But we're not family to the service. They don't want our promises. They want it back, son.
Didn't you tell them that it's mine? That you gave it to me? Please, Dad.
I guess it really wasn't mine to give, was it? Not if it's so important that they've classified it higher than they did the atom bomb. People can be arrested or even killed for possessing secrets they're not supposed to have.
But nobody has to know.
It's too late for that. If they searched our house and found it, we'd be in a real pickle.
But I know just where we could bury it.
That's out of the question. You know that.
But...
Son?
Yes, sir. Indian giver! Secrets! Secrets! Lies!
Barely been here 5 days and you're already tearing up people's lives, damn you. What are you?
No wonder Forrestal couldn't take it. Too much for him. Is that why he killed himself?
No, sir. His predecessor was well known to have been a very sturdy man, a man of parts. It was something else.
Don't get ahead of us!
Jeepers creepers. Hello, lady. Now, I'm under strict orders from your daughter to try and make you look a smidgen younger. Where'd you get those peepers? So that's what I'm just fixing to do. Jeepers creepers. Lipstick, a touch of rouge, some powder. Where'd you get those eyes? Yeah, you're already looking better. Now for the eyeshadow. Gosh, oh, get up. Good thing you're still not kicking. Well, my girl would be mighty jealous right now. How'd you get so laid up? Oh, you'd like her. Naomi's a real go-getter. Second lieutenant, and she's only been in the service a month. Army nurse over to the base. Gosh, oh, get up. Looks like we're going to be tying that knot pretty soon. She wants to set a date. Once you make a date with Naomi, you darn better keep it. How you hypnotize. There. Not bad, lady. Not bad at all.
Mr. Dennis?
Yes, sir? Can I help you, gentlemen?
You work here?
Yes, sir. I do. Is there some kind of problem?
Colonel Blanchard would like to have a word with you.
Who?
How are you, sir?
Oh, sorry. My hands aren't real clean just now.
Son, how big are your smallest caskets?
The smallest ones we've got's about 4 foot. You need something smaller. I can check with Amarillo first thing tomorrow.
Can you get more than one?
Oh, they usually keep a pretty good stock, but I'll be glad to ask them, sir.
That won't be necessary. Just checking for future reference.
Were those kids in an accident, Colonel? Seems like I heard something about some kind of a crash around here recently.
There's been no crash.
Oh.
By the way, say you wanted to preserve a partially burned body that had been lying out in the desert for a while. Huh? Would those chemicals alter the composition of the blood or tissue or what have you?
Oh, yes, sir. They would, sir, of course. If you want to avoid that, you could always pack the bodies in some dry ice. Colonel, I could be of any assistance.
We'll get back to you.
Something's happened. Something's happened. Operator, I can't get through to the base. Could you... did you say jammed? You mean every single line? Something's happened.
Magic 12. Dr. Detley Brock, level 6. Where is it?
Ready and waiting, sir.
I'll need a nurse. Somebody get me a goddamn nurse with a pencil and paper.
This way, Lieutenant. You're needed in here.
But I'm supposed to be in the other room down the hall.
Write this down, young lady.
Yes, sir. You can let go now.
Blood type?
Blood type?
Unknown. Length, 43 inches.
43 inches.
Weight, 28 pounds, 7 ounces. Head disproportionately large. Grayish complexion, large eyes, small nostrils.
Small nostrils.
No hair, no teeth. Mouth appears to be purely vestigial. Small orifices appear to be ears. No lobes.
No lobes.
4 fingers, 4 toes. Slightly webbed.
Slightly webbed.
No navel. No genitalia. When opened, the subject revealed no stomach.
No stomach.
No alimentary canal.
No alimentary canal.
No anus. Conclusion.
Conclusion, sir.
This biological entity represents an unknown humanoid species that is clearly not related to Homo sapiens.
God. Naomi?
You know her?
Well, yes, I know her. She's my fiancée.
Get her out of here now.
Goodness. Naomi? Naomi? Are you all right, baby? Naomi?
Glenn?
Hey, it's okay. It's me, baby.
What
it's
happened?
me.
What are you doing here?
Oh, they said to take you home.
You're not supposed to be here. It's not safe. You have to get out right now. Hurry!
Naomi!
Going somewhere?
Yeah. Back home.
I don't think so.
Look, I just came here to see if I could help out. I heard about a crash.
A crash here.
You savvy?
I savvy.
Then clear out.
No. You stay right there. I'm not through with this son of a bitch yet.
Hey, you watch your language.
You cause any problems, mister, they're gonna be picking your bones out of the dunes.
Make some right nice dog food, wouldn't he?
Get him out of here. Follow him. Make sure he goes straight home.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Keep your voice down. You could get in very bad trouble.
What's going on? I got a visit from the colonel today looking for some children's coffins.
Children.
Oh, apparently there was some sort of wreck.
Children? That was no child. I saw it. I saw it.
So what, Naomi?
Give me your napkin. That.
Huh?
I was there during the autopsy. I took the notes. It wasn't human, like a reptile or an insect or a demon. You know, my parents wanted me to be a nun. I was brought up on Bible stories, Glenn, about Jesus and Joseph and the Virgin Mary. I don't know what to think. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
Let's go someplace else, baby.
We can't. I've been forbidden to ever see you again.
What? Are you crazy? We're getting married.
I'm being transferred out of here.
When?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Where to?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me. That's all I know, Glenn. Goodbye.
I feel pity for anyone who's stupid enough to believe a word of this. Pity and revulsion. Everyone knows that the so-called Roswell incident is a fairy tale. folklore, like that giant catfish who lurks in the deepest part of every lake. As director of the Harvard College Observatory, with enough credentials to lend me some degree of credence, I can tell you that UFOs are, without a doubt, real. Light refractions in the sky, atmospheric lens effects, meteorological phenomena are real. People actually do see them. They're not uncommon. But those among us who are stubbornly unrepentant morons still never fail to get excited and start hollering, "They're here!" Then the mass hallucinations start. Oh yes, one of them waved to me from a porthole. They took my cow. They fed me pancakes. They raped me. Mass hallucinations. It is the only rational explanation for these pathetic wackos. If I could keep from exploding, I would continue. Perhaps in another space-time continuum.
Yes, Major?
I have something for you, Colonel. Here.
Where'd this come from?
My son.
Gave this to your son?
My mistake. You going to set a couple of toughs out to rough him up?
No, that's just great.
If you like, I'll resign my commission.
There's no need for that, Major. I know I can trust you. Just keep your mouth shut, that's all. And your son's.
I want to know what happened, Colonel. If I'm going to be the Army's patsy, then I want to know why. I want to know everything. What's up in Hangar 84?
That's classified. Above top secret.
Never heard of it. Did you guys find aliens? Were there survivors?
Those are dangerous questions, Major. No one's supposed to know about that.
I thought we discussed this. I thought we agreed everybody has a right to know. Isn't that why we sent out a press release, so people would hear about it before the big shots start their cover-up?
That was then. This is now.
What's changed?
Everything. Where the hell have you been?
That's the whole point. Nobody knows that everything's changed.
And it's damn well going to stay that way. You go telling everyone that alien incursions into our airspace are on a sudden rise and our boys can't touch them? By the next morning, our civilization will be finished?
If the government keeps a thing like that secret, sir, then if you ask me, sir, it's already done for.
I'm talking about Wall Street, the economy, organized religion, peace in the streets. Adios! It's only been 2 years since they dropped those bombs on Japan and entered the world of the supernatural. I'm telling you, the country's not ready yet. Not for this!
If you say so, Colonel. I thought we were here to protect its citizens, not to keep them in the dark.
What the hell do I know? Or you. Bigger minds than ours have been working on this. They'll decide what's best for us all. You and I, we're nothing. Just a couple of soldiers following orders.
That argument doesn't have a very good history of holding up in court.
Well, just get out, okay? Forget the whole thing. That any of this ever happened. It'll blow over in a few days. Then things will be back to normal. You'll see.
I don't know, sir. They sure came an awful long way to get here.
No, I'm with him. If a volcano's getting ready to erupt, you don't keep that secret from the public for their own good. Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
People feel safe when they go to bed at night knowing that we're in control.
Obviously, we're not. We can't control the weather, can't control tornadoes or tidal waves. They can also strike anytime without warning and devastate everything in their paths, but we don't consider them a threat to national security. And sure as hell don't threaten everybody who's seen one in some feeble attempt to hide their existence.
Look, tidal waves don't have motives, all right? These guys do. We just don't know what they are. Don't know anything about them.
Except that they're here.
And that our planet is unmistakably under an enforced quarantine. They've been buzzing all our nuclear installations for years and knocked out our space.
Hey, I don't know what year you're in, fella, but I'm in sunny 1950, where the only nuclear installation in the world is in Roswell, New Mexico.
Sorry. That ought to catch you up.
To when?
Now.
When's now?
It's always now. You'll get the hang of it.
Jesus.
Mr. Dennis, you're here about... I'm sorry, tell me her name again.
Second Lieutenant Naomi Self, sir, and Army nurse stationed here for the past month. Colonel, Naomi and I were engaged to be married.
Sorry, Mr. Dennis, but my clerks have spent a lot of time checking the records for you. There's never been a second Lieutenant Naomi Self stationed here.
But that can't be possible, sir. You shipped her out a week ago today.
Mister, this base is the most dangerous, the most secret, the most feared place on Earth. Did she mention anything to you? Anything unusual?
How could she mention anything if she never existed?
Son, I'll be honest with you. A plane with some nurses on it did leave here, bound for England, last week. Unfortunately, it went down in the Atlantic.
Naomi dead? I don't believe you. You're lying.
That's one thing you never want to say to a colonel, son. But you're a civilian. You're young and dumb. So I'm going to let your petty outbursts slide this time. Don't make trouble. Got a picture of her?
I do?
Put it away. Or better still, lose it.
Well, put yourself in my shoes, Colonel. Could you do that? Throw away the face of the woman you love just like that?
If I knew she was never coming back, if I wanted to live.
Oh, boy, you guys sure enjoy throwing that around, don't you? All that power of life and death. I hope it makes you feel real big.
Son.
Okay, you'll get no trouble from me.
That's what I like to hear.
Mr. President.
Admiral, General, Mr. Secretary, Dr. Bush. Be seated, gentlemen. I just got off the horn with Senator Chavez of New Mexico. The National Security Act has been approved. As of today, the Air Force no longer belongs to the Army.
Hallelujah!
The Army, the Navy, and the FBI no longer own our Central Intelligence Group.
What?
It's scrapped. The new agency is henceforth an independent civilian operation. I'm appointing you, Admiral, as its first director.
Excellent choice, Mr. President.
You, Mr. Secretary, are no longer Secretary of the Navy.
But sir,
Settle down. You're being promoted. I'm eliminating the Department of War. You'll be the first Secretary of Defense. Sounds nicer. And you, General, from now on, you'll be heading the Joint Chiefs. Tell them.
Gentlemen, the President has drafted 6 distinguished military officers, including ourselves, and 6 outstanding civilian specialists to perform a national security mission that is to be classified above top secret, to be known as Operation Majestic 12. The Majestic Agency for Joint Energy, Science, Technology, and Intelligence Command. Each of the 12 levels will be coordinated by us to oversee the following objectives: to monitor all alien penetration of our nation's airspace, to seize, recover, salvage, and analyze the function of alien craft, to develop new technology based on those findings, to establish communication with alien entities and determine the reason for their presence here, and finally, to shield and protect the nation's populace from any knowledge of this situation, however trivial, by any means whatsoever.
Is this going to be compartmentalized in the CIA?
Absolutely not. I don't want a bunch of spies playing with this. If you boys think deploying the bomb was a big decision, proceed, General.
Gentlemen, in regard to the alien presence, Operation Majestic 12, code name Majic, or MJ-12, will effectively be the supreme decision-making Congress on behalf of the world, in perpetuity.
This is going to be the biggest, most expensive secret in the history of nations. Sir, how are you going to pay for it?
Don't worry. Congress will be all over themselves to pass an emergency increase in the defense budget, and a hefty one. when they get wind of the new Soviet threat.
What threat? The Russians are still struggling to restore running water over there. We just sold them 20,000 fighter planes, for God's sakes. What threat?
Leave that to me. As for the boys on the hill, it doesn't take an Einstein to sell them a seersucker suit. They're not going to know anything about this. In the meantime, I've already set up appointments with Hughes, McDonald, and Douglas. They want new technology, we want money.
What about clearance?
Magic information will be subject to far stricter procedures than the Manhattan Project employed. Beyond this committee, it's strictly on a need-to-know basis. That includes all elected officials.
Now you can thank me for that. We don't want some damn Republican president selling us out to those out-of-towners for a quick fortune during his 4 years in office.
Or starting a war.
That we can't possibly win.
Is that so, Doctor?
Not with our current state of defense, sir. Unless you boys have something I don't know about.
We have a crashed disc. That's a beginning.
Any survivors?
3 bodies, 4. I can't get a straight answer.
I want to know. Think what they could tell us.
You should have stayed there. You never should have left those good old boys in charge of that retrieval.
Those good old boys are the 509th Admiral, and every one of them has top secret clearance.
How about the janitors?
Maybe you men ought to take a plane to Roswell today and go have a look-see. I want to know what's going on in Hangar 84, and I want to know now.
Good God Almighty.
It looks like a fetus.
Call it anything.
Just EB1 for extraterrestrial biological entity. The other 3 were transported to Wright Field in crates packed with dry ice.
Is it badly wounded?
Yep. What can we do for it?
Ask it to stop convulsing every 12 hours like clockwork and oozing blue fluid from its nostrils.
Has anyone spoken to it? Anyone at all?
Mr. Secretary, we're doing our best just to keep the damn thing alive.
Step aside, Doctor. Hello, little fella. My name is...
I know who you are.
This could be important. Someone should be writing this down.
Writing what down, sir?
They do not hear me.
Don't tell me you didn't hear that.
Hear what?
My God, the damn thing spoke to me. Inside my head.
I have chosen you.
There it goes again!
It's not such a phenomenon as you may think. Speech is limited. You can give me your thoughts.
You all right, sir?
It wants to communicate by thinking. Like what do they call that?
Last time I saw a dictionary, the word was telepathy.
Sneaky little so-and-so, isn't it?
Ask it if there are any more of its kind here. Or was it the last one?
You are wrong. You do not harbor ill feelings for your father. You desire his affection, but he is dead. You do not understand your feelings. You will be comforted.
What did it say?
It said I was all wrong about my father.
What's that got to do with the price of rice in China?
I wasn't thinking about how many aliens are left on the planet, General. I was thinking about something private. Something personal that I've never discussed with anyone. Feelings. It heard me, all right. As if I'd opened up my soul for it to read like a book. And it answered. Told me I was wrong. You don't suppose that damn thing could be a female?
No gender.
That's right. All identical. Like, what's that fancy dictionary of yours call them? Drones?
Clones.
Oh.
Find out where the hell they're from.
We are from another star. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Never.
Seems like they've been coming here for a hell of a long time.
Can it tell us how to treat its wounds?
Tell him that I can, but I will not.
I don't think it wants us to know.
I wish to die. It will be my time soon. I am older than your race.
I need some fresh air.
What's the matter? What did it tell you?
I don't know. I don't know. Get out of my way. I need fresh air!
Sheer fantasy. That's what it all boils down to. A massive social delusion that merely replaces the archaic trappings of our ancient religions. The gods, the angels, the cherubim become aliens with magic ships like Ezekiel's will in the sky, and the prophets, their earthly prodigies. Demon sexual fantasies, dreams of flight, fairies and elves, and succubi from the underworld. The whole proposition is utterly hopeless and without substance. Anyone observing a UFO that cannot be rationally explained is, in the end, simply not qualified to observe. If I say another word, I'll go up in smoke.
Dr. Menzel, Vandevar Bush, U.S. Office of Scientific Research and Development.
You don't have to tell me who you are. I'm honored to meet you, Doctor. Did you appreciate my lecture?
We have something to show you, sir. You better come with us.
Oh, Truman sent you, did he?
How'd you know that?
I was wondering when you were going to show up. It's about that flying saucer that crashed near Roswell.
So, how do I fit into this? I mean, how many former CIA directors does it take to screw in a light bulb?
As Secretary Forrestal's replacement, General, your designation is MJ3, responsible for military coordination. My level is MJ4, recovery and investigation of a downed alien craft.
MJ10, astrophysics, natural sciences, disinformation.
MJ2, scientific investigation of alien technology.
So, who's MJ1?
You're looking at him, and don't you forget it. You'll meet the rest another time.
I only have one question. When you go home at night, Admiral, and put your head on your pillow, what year is it for you?
1950, of course. Same as for you.
Oh, that's early. And next year will be...
1951. What else?
Seems more like 1961 in here.
At times.
You're getting there. Don't rush it. Wait till you get a load of the 90s. Mexico City's become a regular interstellar Riviera.
Uh-oh, got a bogey.
Ooh, look at the size of that son of a gun.
Good thing we picked Forrestal's replacement in time. Appears we have a situation brewing. Whoa! Got a lot of activity here.
Looks pretty ominous to me.
When's that happening?
Right now.
Wait. Now or some other now?
It's all one and the same, General.
By the goddamn Gregorian calendar.
July 19th, 1952.
Thanks.
Feel better?
Jesus. Who do you have to golf with to get a straight answer around here?
I smell trouble. Looks like the little fellows are headed straight for D.C.
Oh, shit. I'll handle this.
I repeat, 8 flying saucers, gentlemen, are hovering over the nation's capital this very moment. What are we going to do about it?
Sir, I can take care of this.
Can you? Count 'em, boys. 4, 6, 8. Outstanding formation. He should be so proud. Telephones are ringing all over the country, all over the world. This is not how I wanted to end my presidency.
Sir, Andrews Air Force Base and Washington National Airport are both tracking them on radar as we speak. They appear to be flying low and moving very slowly.
What the devil are they up to?
If they don't alter course, Mr. President, in a few more minutes the White House's restricted airspace will be breached. You'll have to be transported to safety.
Oh, that's the last straw. I want every fighter jet we have in the air now. I want these bugs or reptiles or whatever they are intercepted.
Sir, they may be mocking us, but they never do aggress.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. I have it on sound authority that they're systematically engaged in the abduction of unsuspecting American citizens. That is unacceptable.
Who told you that?
Sir, you are not my only source of reliable information. Now, I want you boys to shoot one of those suckers down.
You know that's not feasible.
You heard the man. They're deliberately flying low and slow. It's a perfect opportunity to hit them.
It'll never work, sir.
He's right. It's impossible.
Like hell it is. They crashed one, didn't they? They are fallible. Some of them apparently got their flight wings in a box of Cracker Jacks.
What if they return fire? Have you thought about that? About what kind of surprise weaponry they might possess?
I don't give a damn. I'm ordering you to shoot one down. Show the little bastards who we are. Show them we can bite. Now get out of here and give them hell.
I hate to throw a wrench in all this excitement, but our nation's capital regrettably has not been invaded by little green men after all. The numerous flying saucers reported recently were actually reflections of ordinary city lights produced by a common atmospheric effect. Anyone who knows anything about temperature inversions knows that warm air pockets on the ground, trapped by warmer layers above, are potentially capable of reflecting not only light, but radar signals. Yesterday's Air Force response was a wild goose chase triggered by a natural phenomenon. Any other explanations are for the birds.
People actually buy that?
Hell, Americans are natural-born consumers. They'll buy anything, like that cock and bull story in the 80s about President Star Wars initiative being an orbital laser defense against the Russians. Getting awfully quiet out there, aren't we, boys? Fire drill!
Harry, I want out of this backstreet shadow government. The people have a right to know what's going on. I don't want anything more to do with your unholy 13.
You're in a very sensitive position, Jim. As you know, there's only one way out.
Don't want to be privy to the information I'm being exposed to. I could have lived the rest of my life without knowing any of this.
Sorry if the truth hurts. I know just how you feel. I may go to my grave the only human being in history ever to have waged a nuclear offensive. You think I don't bend with you under the weight of this burden?
You didn't look at that thing in its cold, black eye, Harry. While it invaded your mind with its thoughts and read your private memories like a book. I don't think we can trust them. Ever. That, Mr. President, may be the single most valuable piece of intelligence you'll ever receive. Now let me off the hook.
Can't do it, Jim.
I'm telling you, you don't want me on this project anymore. I'm not myself. I'm hearing voices, Harry. Whispers. Can't quite make out what they're... It's not safe. The sacred privacy of my thoughts has been compromised. My damn mind is open as a public library now. How would you like to go to sleep knowing that every door and window in your house was utterly accessible?
You just need a rest, that's all. You've had quite a shock. A couple weeks off your feet at Bethesda with all those pretty nurses around you ought to do you some good.
Harry, the people have to be told.
No! It's too dangerous.
If you won't do it, then by God, I will.
You know that I can't allow that. Haven't we got our hands full already with all the whites and the blacks and the Catholics and the Protestants and the Arabs and the Jews? For God's sake, the water's choppy enough without our tossing in another species.
I still say the people have a right to know.
Rights? If we're not in charge, then everybody's rights are an illusion. What do rights mean now?
Made in God's image. That's what I was always told. Now what?
I know. Scary business, isn't it? We're living in a new world, a new universe.
Dark secrets. Only one way out, huh?
You've been a good friend, Jim. I've always been able to count on you. But I'm ordering you as your president, not imploring you as a friend. Pull yourself together.
You have a conscience to answer to. So do I. Thanks for the warning, friend.
So, time and space aren't the only things that got warped here. Obviously, there's not enough moral substance left in this congregation to keep a worm alive. I want to know more about that mysterious black box. What the hell is it?
Pandora's worst nightmare, that's what.
And the key.
To what?
To magic, General. Top secret magic.
Security breach! Looks like we have a loose cannon here.
Horizon?
Not clear, it's backtracking.
Don't lose it.
Still searching. Got it! Horizon 1989. Looks like Groom Lake, Nevada, boys.
Area 51.
Never heard of it.
Everything got shipped to the Nevada Proving Grounds in 1954, General, so we could analyze the alien technology in total seclusion. Nobody knew that Las Vegas was going to keep growing.
Dreamland. That's where we made our first successful test flights. As luck would have it, a few passing motorists out on the highway got roasted during our first attempts. Now we're up to here in federal lawsuits.
That's because the idiots working on the propulsion system tried to use plutonium in the ship's reactor.
Bad call.
Excuse me, the Greys?
You know, the kids, the little rascals, the wee folk.
You mean they've broken off relations?
Don't worry, it would appear they have a vested interest in us.
Hell, as far as they're concerned, they created us. We're their future, if you believe them.
And they're ours.
Forgive me, but those ghastly rumors about human and animal parts floating in vats at the alien bases aren't any more gruesome than the ones about alien bodies cold-bloodedly stored in tanks of formaldehyde at Area 51. They fear us, as much as we fear them.
Oh, they're just pissed off. They'll get over it. Everybody does.
If only I could sleep.
You know how folks talk about them little green men? Well, I'll tell you a secret, partner. They ain't green. Chew on that a while.
Go away, Brazil. Go away.
What's the matter, Jess? Can't sleep? My mom always used to make me drink a glass of warm milk in the kitchen and then climb back into bed. Usually worked.
I feel so small, Vi. Such an insignificant little speck. Who are these mysterious people out there, whose equally mysterious universe we share? Are they the angels? Are they the gods? Are they? Or are they just reptiles with gadgets? Why? Why? Why would they come here, to our humble mounds? Are we blessed? Or a cursed bunch of dupes who've been hoodwinked on a cosmic scale? Either way, something doesn't want us to know, and that's for sure. That someone's control is something awesome to behold.
Jess, it's over. The genie's back in the bottle. All that alien stuff's been shipped off to heaven knows where. You said so yourself. Roswell's come back to Earth. Now you come back.
I'm afraid.
Of what? Sun's still coming up tomorrow.
Of the dark night, of the sky, of the stars that used to be so sweet and innocent, of knowing.
Then forget. It's all they're asking you to do. Just forget. Life goes on.
Does it? Does it really? Sometimes I feel like we've been cemented into this moment for all time, for eternity, Vi.
Maybe if you were to put your arms around me, that wouldn't seem so bad.
You think he'll ever forgive me?
Jesse Jr.? Sure he will, Jess. You know how kids are. At his age, they still know how to forget. Who's there?
Dad? Mom?
Oh, son, you scared us silly.
What are you doing out of bed?
I've thought about it, Dad. That is, well, I know we made the right decision.
How'd you come to that, son?
The writing. The way I figure it, without those little marks on the thermometer, the mercury inside wouldn't mean a darn thing. That piece of the spaceship. Suppose those are real important instructions written on it.
So, are you sorry for calling your father an Indian giver and making him stare at the wall for the past week?
Yes, ma'am. Real sorry. You were right, Dad. Besides, it was just swell getting to touch it. And call it mine for a spell.
Dear Lord, can you find a way in your infinite wisdom, without striking us blind, to deliver our humble family back into the comfort of oblivion, where neither darkness nor fear prevails, where the truth is kind and administered with mercy, where only the lies are cruel, and the only mystery that's truly unfathomable is you. Amen.
What am I going to do with you? Must everyone be so easily taken in? Where there are sheep, there's mutton. And while we're on the subject, all of these recent complaints about cattle mutilations in underground alien bases in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico, are entirely unfounded in rational fact. Obviously, the locals are grateful for anything that puts their dusty waterhole on the map, even if it means turning themselves into a bunch of flibbertigibbets. I hate to be the one to burst their collective bubble, but as it so happens, the missing tongues and genitalia of the unfortunate animals in question have more to do with their appeal as soft, tender tissue to scavenging buzzards and coyotes than with the prodigious skill of extraterrestrial surgeons working with ultra-sophisticated laser scalpels. As for the mysterious lights coming and going from below the ground out there, tensions between the layers of the Earth's crust do release visible energy into the atmosphere at times, creating something of an aurora effect. If people would only use their stupid minds.
Wait a minute. If time in this vault is truly as relative and as flexible as it appears to be, then what do you need me for, when you can have Forrestal?
That's easy. Forrestal's dead.
So? He was your first choice, wasn't he? Why not just retrieve him from a time before he cracked?
No can do. Doesn't work that way. Out of phase. Lucky for him, he died before the black box was brought here for storage, before the distortion occurred. Some people might consider it a blessing.
How's that?
Not knowing the exact date they're going to die on, me, I'm checking out in June of '74. Those poor bastards still have to stick it out for another 8 years, till '82. Great funerals? I couldn't resist.
Here we go. Looks like it's going to be Alamogordo, New Mexico.
That's Holloman Air Force Base.
I can see the blips now.
There's going to be some flak on this one.
Better confirm the horizon.
Can't get a clear reading. It's either 1964 or 1971. Take your pick.
They're scrambling us.
They try.
Tricky little farts.
I don't like the looks of this.
Your attention, please. As you know, we were advised last week that a craft and crew not originating from this planet would land here today by pre-arrangement. They are precisely on time. Quiet! Quiet! Your plaudit could suggest aggression to them. Think before you blink. We don't yet know how we'll manage communication with them, if at all. Language is a series of symbolic patterns of any kind. Light pulses, musical tones, gestures, postures, smells, even biological secretions. It is by no means restricted to words or sounds. We may think in linear mode, but we have no guarantee that they do. Nothing in nature is done without purpose, so we must be prepared to recognize any signals from them, however subtle, lest we...
Yeah. No weapons, remember. They can read your mind like it's the funny papers.
General Twining and I will do all the talking.
What the hell is it carrying? A respirator?
Could be a translating device.
Or a weapon.
We have chosen you.
I'll be go to hell.
Those other two discs up there, how come they didn't land with you? Why are they still hovering?
They are guarding me. They are afraid of you.
Why is that?
They do not trust your judgment. We know you act as a secret government.
Why did you say that you've chosen us? Chosen us for what?
It is time for us to tell you what you are.
First, we want to know what you are.
Tell us where you come from.
Our origin is the fourth planet of the second star in the system, Zeta Reticuli.
Zeta Reticulum 2. That's in a binary system 37 light years away, visible only from the southern hemisphere. Its twin suns are 350 billion miles apart and more or less similar to ours.
Not so. They are at a much later evolutionary stage than the star.
How long did it take you guys to get here?
Instantly.
You mean you can travel faster than the speed of light?
Velocity is not the key. Minimization of distance is the key.
We don't have time for riddles. We want some real truth.
You are not yet prepared for this knowledge.
Gentlemen, let's look at the probabilities here. Older suns imply older civilizations, potentially not just millions of years ahead of us. Billions, gentlemen. They are way beyond steam power and chemical rockets and nuclear bombs. The source of energy available to them must be immense, enough to demand responsible stewardship. Otherwise, they would have destroyed themselves by now if they tended toward primitive aggression on the way we do.
I'll show that bug some primitive aggression.
You have preserved our dead.
That's our custom.
You will return them.
Some, not all.
You wish to study our bodies and our vehicles. You have used weapons against us to possess them.
You've been doing the same thing to us. We know about your surprise abductions and your grisly physical examinations.
No weapons.
Your technology renders us helpless in the face of its superiority.
We know.
That, little fella, is a weapon.
No weapons.
Tell us what you want.
You have a captive called EB1.
You know EB1 passed away in 1952. Just up and died.
Return that individual.
Who was EB1?
A technician.
Why is he more important than the others?
You would not understand. All are equal. She was the eldest.
Wouldn't you know they beat communists?
This EB1, she must still be greatly revered by your people.
We do not revere. We are not a people.
No? Well, what are you then?
An army.
Say we gave you back EB1. What would you do for us in return? You know we're a race that believes in exchange.
You wish to possess our technology. You would not comprehend it. You are too young. We are ancient.
You have to admit, we learn quickly.
That is relative.
Sure said that politely, didn't he?
The star is intense.
Why don't we cool off over here in the shade? Better?
We are your star elders. We have been here longer than you. Sol 3 is not our planet of origin, but it is our home as much as yours. Your race is the result of 65 genetic corrections.
Wait a second. Are you saying we didn't evolve naturally like other living things on this planet?
Not your brains, not your minds.
Who the hell's responsible for that?
Who do you think? You are related to us. The others do not approve.
Others? What others?
We are not alone. 8 other races come and go.
Are they all from your planet?
From many planets.
How on earth could we possibly be related to you?
All that live in the universe are linked through the sacred chain. But we are even closer. Your mind is woven from traces of ours, wrapped around the self-centered mind of a reptile, wrapped around the fearful mind of fish, your more native elders.
Is that so? And just when did you perform those 60-odd corrections of yours? Before or after we lost our guilds?
Don't tell me you believe that, Admiral. Can't you see it's lying? Christ! Are they lucky they didn't land in Oklahoma?
Throughout the glacial period, intervals were approximately 25,000, 15,000, and 2,500 years ago.
Why would you want to do a thing like that?
I'm telling you, it's pulling your leg.
Were dogs not genetically bred from wolves by early human beings, according to your preferences, for beauty, strength, spirit? Our research and experimentation must continue.
That's what you call it. We call it abduction and mutilation. And word has it that you guys have a lousy bedside manner. It's one thing to rustle a few horses and cows, but when the citizens who trust us to protect them start to vanish...
Cease firing on our craft.
First, you'll have to convince us that you've laid down your own weapons.
Our defense systems are not weapons of destruction. Our systems employ evasion and disarmament. Only to protect ourselves can we cause your own explosives and delivery craft to malfunction.
How many more of your kind are here?
Many.
Now, let me get this straight. You're asking us to look the other way while you secretly assault our population?
We are not aggressing. We are breeding. Our casualties are minimal. Mostly your livestock, which you breed for slaughter.
That livestock just so happens to be valuable private property.
Property is an artificial concept.
Well, it may be to you, little fella, but here on the third rock, it's part of the fabric of our whole society.
You will progress.
These guys are definitely Reds.
Yeah, red ants.
You came here for a reason. Why? What's your ultimate objective?
To achieve a high-grade race, of course.
Indeed. What's the point of crossbreeding? You have your own damn bodies. What the hell do you need ours for?
Containers.
Containers? What does that mean? Containers for what?
Souls.
Whose? Ours or theirs?
Both together.
Sounds pretty crowded.
What exactly does he mean by souls?
Entities of another density.
What's your religion?
That's enough of that. Do you worship a supreme being?
The supreme being is the living universe itself. You have not discovered yet that everything is one.
Are you talking about God?
Cannot be enlightened to the spiritual nature of the universe until you have surrendered all thermonuclear devices on the planet.
I'll bet you'd like that, wouldn't you? In a pig's eye, little buddy.
Your rudimentary technology is inefficient. Your waste is a peerless contaminant, and your impulses are unreliable. Until you are no longer a hazard and can be entrusted with local access to other worlds, you will continue to be prevented from approaching the moon and all other planets in this system.
Did he say continue? What the hell kind of secrets is NASA keeping from us?
Well, you know what their goddamn initials stand for. Never a straight answer.
You have disabled and seized 39 of our vessels and killed their crews. We are prepared to offer an exchange.
Get them out of here.
Okay, everybody, clear out!
You heard the General. Clear out. Show's over.
What's your offer?
Cease fire and we will provide limited technology and hardware within your range of understanding in exchange for limited privileges associated with our research.
Great. This one's a damn lawyer.
Accepted.
What? You can't do that. Do you realize what you've just agreed to?
Do you realize what they're offering?
You're talking about trading lives for technology.
Happens every day. Remember your fried motorists? Acceptable losses, Doctor. Would it make you more comfortable if we were talking about strategic petroleum fields instead?
This is very dangerous.
Noted, but it's not your department, is it? I repeat, accepted. You do realize that it will take time for us to retrieve your comrade's body?
We will send a pulse signal to your communications. It will indicate the time and coordinates for our next meeting.
So who gets to tell LBJ?
The President? Out of the question.
Admiral Helicopter will still fall inside your range of acceptable losses if those limited, random casualties it spoke of wind up including one of your grandkids.
I'll sure be in a position to contemplate my revenge with something a whole lot more effective than a damn BB gun, won't I? Toughen up, will you? I don't have to listen to this crap. You tried bargaining in the hot sun all afternoon with a goddamn ant, Mr. Scientist.
What have you done? Have you lost all reason? How do you dare?
I'll tell you how. Are you forgetting they can whip our asses and play bridge at the same time?
Don't you see? They're old. They need us. Their ancient race is genetically played out. No species lasts forever. A couple of million years at most. Their genes are exhausted. They're sterile. We're young and fertile. And there are billions of us, ripe for the harvest.
And our monumental decision was to cover that up? Using what for brains? Boys, I still have bad dreams about the things I saw in the back streets of Europe during the war. Intelligence, espionage, spying. I understand the need to operate outside of laws, outside of all commonly held concepts of honor and decency in order to get a dirty job done.
For an honorable cause. For an honorable cause! Where's the honor here? You dumb bastards have sold out the entire human race like a band of craven ivory merchants in exchange for what?
Transistors, fiber optics.
Lasers. Microchips. Microwaves. Night vision.
Stealth technology.
Velcro.
Oh, yes, and a small fleet of interstellar spacecraft.
So this cabal does answer to someone after all. It answers to them. They're cleverer than you are. They've tricked you.
How's that?
For thousands of years, no one's understood what they are. Makes their job a lot easier when they're a mystery. No resistance. Then we come along with our brutish technology, and suddenly their Frankenstein starts giving them a taste of opposition. Majestic 12's their way of guaranteeing themselves a return to no resistance. They fooled you. They're not mean enough to seize control of the planet, but they're in a sterling position to make deals with those of us who are. Boy, are they subtle.
You're forgetting, General. They didn't create this operation, sir. We did.
Well, they sure hell figured out how to turn it around on you by making themselves irresistibly appealing to an industry of black-budgeted secrets, all the while infecting our intelligence complex with greed. Greed for information. Information that they possess exclusively. You taught the little fellas how to bargain, Admiral. And then they beat you at your own game. How are you going to checkmate them now?
That remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Don't string him along. Tell him. It's why we chose him, isn't it? Tell him.
We tried before. A hint here, a bigger hint there. Hollywood's not bad at preparing the public for the truth. Started with that picture about flying saucers over D.C.
Good grief! How long could you possibly hope to keep a thing like this secret?
Who says we have? Everybody knows. They've simply been conditioned not to believe it, and very successfully.
So now you're trapped in your own web of black-budgeted secrets. Someone came here. They stepped across light years of time and space, almost supernaturally to do so. They came quietly, bearing gifts, civilizing gifts, and like the angels, planted their seed in our very midst, and we welcomed them, gentlemen, in their innocence and ours, with fire, not as gods, as dark reflections of our own terrifying selves. And then we hid our monumental barbarism in a maze of lies and secrets. Oh, yes. You're good and trapped.
Not entirely, General.
The groundwork's been laid. You haven't been at this for the past 50 years like we have. You haven't forgotten your way yet and found yourself lost in the dark.
We have a willing operative in the Office of Special Investigations at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque. His field is counterintelligence, codename Falcon. God knows what kind of trouble he might cause if one of us could persuade him to disseminate this to the public, while the rest of us look the other way.
What is it?
Copy of Eisenhower's official. Eyes only briefing on MJ-12.
I don't get it. This isn't right.
Something the matter?
Look at that! When the hell did you ever see a format like that on an official government briefing?
Oh, come on. Plenty of time.
Bullshit! These documents were obviously typed by a Class A moron. This is useless. Top secret stamps and all. Nobody's going to believe a single word.
Oh, yes, they will. You forget, General. This is America.
I never forget that, sir. But the damn thing still looks like a second-rate forgery.
And so it should.
He's right. If it were perfect, we wouldn't be able to officially deny it, would we?
And then our little pals might suspect us of trying to pull a fast one on them. And
you sons of bitches.
It's time.
I'll be damned. Idiots may have outsmarted them after all.
It's time.
Leave our feathered friend at Kirtland to me.
Codename General?
Codename Falcon, sir.
General Blanchard.
Well, I'll be a blue-nosed gopher if it isn't Lieutenant Colonel Marcel. It is Lieutenant Colonel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to the saddle battle reunion of the glorious 509th. How have you been, Jess?
Oh, fine.
The wife?
Fine. Had to check out the motel's beauty parlor.
How about that boy of yours?
He's a doctor now, up in Helena.
Oh, not retired military like his old man, huh? Sure were something, weren't we? The glorious 509th. We ended the war. Got much resin since you've been here?
Just the usual from the guys. You know, hey Marcel, seen any little green men? That kind of stuff.
Can you just let it be?
Colonel, General, I've only got a few months to live.
Huh?
It's my lungs.
Oh, I'm real sorry to hear that, Jess.
I've been stifled for the past 30 years, sir. I've decided to talk.
You mean... But Jess...
It's something I have to do. I'm dying. Not a damn thing they could do to me now. At least I know that one old boy's going to go out singing like a canary.
Suppose I can't blame you. Truth is, I admire you for it. You and the others.
What others?
Haven't you heard? All kinds of folks are coming forward. Old Pappy Henderson, for one, says he guessed it wasn't a secret anymore after he read about it in a grocery store tabloid. You won't go out alone, Jess. He says he's ready to let everybody know he's the one who flew the disc from Roswell to right field.
Sure enough.
Hey, look. Isn't that the wishing star? Starlight? Star bright? How the hell does that go?
I forget now.
Amazing, isn't it?
What's that?
How patient the truth is.
The truth, sir?
You know what I'm trying to say. Who wants to live in a country that doesn't have a hero? Take care, Lieutenant Colonel Marcel.
Thank you, General. You too, sir.
Who knows? Maybe it was all just a dream.
Or maybe just a weather balloon.